I would say take the leap of faith. Instead of thinking about the best that could happen, well, what's the worst that can happen? And when you really think about it, it's not as bad as you think. I mean, okay, so this company doesn't like what I've done, but that doesn't mean all the companies out there aren't going to like what I do. I eventually heard from someone from a form that I'd filled out on their website that they were interested in a collection, and it turned out to be the collection I did in immersion, which was like, oh my gosh, my very first collection, and it was immersion. I can't believe it. I think if you don't try, you'll never know, but also if you don't try, you don't grow.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm here with Ann Gardner. Hi, Ann.
Hello.
I'm so excited to talk to you today. Your work is breathtaking. It's been
Thank
so
you.
fun to see your journey. Will you kind of just start with telling us a little bit more about who you are and in your own words, what do you do?
I have been a graphic designer for many, many years. I started working in corporate jobs, and when I moved to Texas to marry my husband, I started freelancing and I
Mhm.
discovered stationery design. So I was designing wedding invitations, holiday cards, that kind of thing. That's kind of my background as far as work goes. Did a lot of work in Illustrator. I kind of found out about immersion through some of my peers doing stationery. I looked into it and I was a little hesitant because of the Illustrator aspect. I felt like, well, I pretty much know the program. I can work pretty quickly. And so
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I would get out of the course what other people would get out of it. But I took a leap of faith, and I'm glad I did because when you get used to working a certain way, you feel like, oh, I know how to do everything.
Yeah.
But doing doing pattern design is a kind of a mind shift. You're
Yeah.
you're still using the program, but you're using it in different ways, perhaps. So I did take the leap of faith, and I actually ended up learning more than I thought. If
Yeah.
anyone's hesitant, I would say go in with an open mind because you are going to pick up things that are going to help you down the line. And like I said, some of my peers had said, I'm taking immersion or I've taken it, I recommend it. And I thought, pattern design seems like that might be a challenge because it's kind of like a puzzle. You have to figure things out. So it's kind of a little bit of a shift. Why don't I try that? And then the thought of, well, I never really considered fabric or wrapping paper or any of those things before, but that would be fun. And I can design what I want for myself
Yeah.
as opposed to worrying about the whole financial aspect of it.
Okay, so tell me how you approach the course. It is not a small course. It's dripped out in modules and lots of lessons. And so, everyone, I think it's really interesting to hear about how you approach it. Did you do a little bit every day? Did you do it all on the weekend? Did you finish it on time? Did you space it out? So, tell me how you really started taking action and kind of breaking it all down.
Well, I gave myself kind of the goal of working on it a little at a time. My goal was to do at least 3 days a week. I think I ended up doing pretty much every day of the week, Monday
Yeah.
through Friday. And I didn't want to get too far behind in the modules because I really liked the feedback from the community. I wanted to make sure that, I was kind of at the same place that a lot of people were at, just so that we could have those conversations and the feedback and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I approached it as I'm very linear in that respect. Start at the beginning and worked all the way through. I didn't skip around any. I know some people like to do that, but that really helped me in my head build on the last lesson and then reinforce it by working on something from the last lesson along with the new stuff in the new session. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how I approached it. And I definitely worked along with the class. I did not just watch it because I don't retain as much if I don't do while I'm learning. And there are a lot of nice, wonderful, talented people in the community that
Yeah.
are very encouraging. I think that also helped me to kind of get out of my own head and just plug away.
Yeah.
Keep plugging away because the more you do, the more you get used to it, the more you know where your style's going, that kind of thing. And so that was a big help.
Now, you mentioned, Anne, that you took the course twice, and many
Mhm.
people would think, why on earth would you ever do something like that? Tell me what it was like coming to it a second time, and maybe answer that question. Why on earth would you take it a second time?
Why would I take it a second time? Because there's a lot of stuff in that class. There, you have packed it full of little nuggets of wisdom throughout the whole thing.
Mm.
And the second time I took it, I picked up things that I might have missed. Those things either helped me work faster or helped me look at something in a different way. The other reason why I decided to take it a second time is because one, I had a good time. I mean, I had a good time in the class, and I created a collection I was pretty happy with.
Mm.
So I thought, this is kind of like a kick in the pants to get me to focus and work on something. And even if I approach it like I did the first time as an opportunity to come up with a collection, by the end of the day, I'm going to have another collection. So,
Yeah.
and I'm going to get feedback from this community.
Well, let's talk about some things that have happened for you. I would love to know what has happened for you in a business from your business perspective since finishing immersion.
Well, I've been doing pattern design more than anything else, which has been a lot of fun. And I've been designing for myself, which has been such a joy. I mean, I love
Mm.
being creative, but being able to create something for me that I hope resonates with somebody else has been amazing. I mean, I'm just so much more happier with what I'm doing. Can't wait to get to work, every day. But also, the more I was doing, the more I kind of found my signature style. I ended up going back to the first collection that I did in immersion and kind of tweaked it, changed it some to reflect more of my style of where I was going, changed the color palette a little bit, started sending out pitch emails, filling out forms on company websites, and I'm not going to lie, it took a while. I was not like an overnight thing, but I eventually heard from someone from a form that I'd filled out on their website that they were interested in a collection. And it turned out to be the collection I did in immersion, which was like, oh my gosh, my very first collection. And it was immersion. I can't believe it. That collection is available, will be available this month. And in the meantime, I have three more collections launching next year.
And on what product is this?
Fabric,
Yeah. Oh my
fabric. Well, I got an email and I'm like, I don't remember contacting these people because I think I had filled out that form like 6 months ago since I'd heard from them, and they sent me an email, and we've looked at your stuff on your website and your portfolio, and we're interested in working with you. And ran over to my husband and just said, you won't believe it, I finally have interest in something, and they want to license one of my collections. It really was a kind of a positive sign in the universe that I'm doing what I want to do and should be doing.
Thank you so much. Your work is stunning.
Thank
It's
you.
beautiful, and I'm so excited to see your fabric in the real world.
I want to thank you, number one, for sharing your knowledge and skill, because without that, I don't think I would be where I am today. Even if I thought about, oh, I could do fabric or wallpaper or anything, and I tried it on my own, it would take me a lot longer.
I love it. Thank you, Anne, so much for being here.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.